I'm going to start this episode off with setting up Damascus billets, and I'm going to roll right into forging. I order 1095 from Admiral Steel. They sell it in 72-inch lengths. I have them cut it down to 36. Makes shipping a little cheaper. So this is 1095 here, and then this is what I have left over from previous order, 15 and 20. This is, check, I think it's 60 thou. Yeah, about 65 thou thick. So I'll be cutting this down to the 2-inch width that this is. This is 2 inch by 1/8. So I'll slice this down and I'm going to build up a layer, a 10-layer billet, alternating the 15 and 20 and the 1095. And then I also got another piece of CPM S30V. I'll be cutting out the prototype I got done last week after I shot the last video. I'll show you guys that a little later, and so I'll be cutting out those. I almost got my fixture set up for the mill for milling out the blades, and we'll go into the Damascus first. Got all the pieces, 1095 or 15 and 20 stacked up. Okay, so we got the 1095 right here, and 15 and 20 all cleaned up. So we're gonna start out with 1095, then 15 and 20. That's 5. That's 10 right there. That's 1 billet. And 10. Okay, so I got it stacked up, ready to be welded. This is going to be my handle for this one. It's just a scrap piece of 1/2 inch. Be welding it on like so. And my next one I'll be using this scrap piece of rebar. I usually use the handles until they get too short for me to use. So yeah, welder set up, ground clamps on. Most people like to clamp directly to the workpiece, but I've had this set up for quite a few years and it seems to work out pretty good, especially for just throwing a weld down on billet. I'm going to start off by tacking it, and then I'll weld the whole top here and the handle at the same time. Should mention, when I first started doing this, I was using baling wire to hold the metal all together while it was in the forge, and it worked out alright. But for longer billets, because the two metals heat at different rates, and you got the outside heating first and the inside heating last, it bubbles up in the center. And since I started welding it, it keeps that billet all nice and tight together, so you don't get as much oxidation in the center, which is what you're fighting. And it helps that flux to, when it coats the outside, to keep the oxygen out of there. The other reason why I only do a 4-inch long billet is I got 2-inch wide dies, so in one heat I can weld the whole billet and get it drawn out. In the next heat I bring it up to welding heat again, finish drawing it out. That way, if there's any spots that didn't get welded in the first heat, second heat takes care of it. Cut it in half, fold it all in that heat, get it back in the forge. There you go. Makes it real quick and easy. Some guys like to forge, foot-long billet, draw it out to 3 feet, let it cool, and cut it by hand and re-grind it and everything else. As long as you're keeping that steel hot, you can clean it with a wire brush, get it folded, throw it back in the forge, flux it, and you're off and rolling. You don't have any downtime when you're forging. You can forge one billet start to finish. And then after the billet's welded up to the layer count, then you can do your patterning there. Or sometimes like one of these billets is going to be a W's, which is going to be a mosaic, and I'm going to be using those for bolsters for the line lock number 2 design that I came up with. And the other one is going to be I need another billet of the classic raindrop, so I'll be doing that with one of the billets as well, and that gets patterned after it cools, so there's downtime between that billet. So that usually takes a good 2 days to get start from finish. But we got the top tacked up. I'm going to hit the sides, and then I'll be throwing the handle on. We're waiting for the forge to heat up here. Thought I'd go over my operation. So I'm using 20 MLT borax. This is going to be the flux. When it melts, it turns into almost looking like honey. So it keeps the oxygen from getting in between the layers of steel. I just got a stainless steel dog dish, pour a little borax in there, and get a nice big spoon so I can sprinkle it over the billet every heat. We got both of our billets with the handles welded on, ready to go. And I'll be doing one billet at a time. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll do 2 billets this time, but usually I try to focus on one billet. Start with no flux, gotta let it heat up before the flux will stick to it. beautiful day for forging. Beautiful spring day. See the mountains. It's about 40-45 degrees out right now. Gorgeous. Okay, so this is liner lock, folder number 2. Took me about 6 hours or so to make. I'm going to do a bolster from about here to here. This one is just 1095. You can see this action is just fantastic. Turned out, I mean, it's amazing how well this prototype turned out. I'm going to add a thumb stud in here, either that or a nail neck. I think a thumb stud would work better so you can do the one-handed opening with it. But you can just about flip this sucker, it's so smooth. I mean, it's just fantastic. But this is, the blade is 4 inches, the handle's 4.5. So a guy with a bigger hand, see my hand's fairly small, so guys with bigger hands can actually, you know, hold on to this pretty well. It's kind of one of those knives that I made for a lot of hunters up here like a folding knife. So you can use this every day, or you can take it into the woods with you, hunt with it. Pretty good for skinning. It's got a decent belly on it. The drop point won't cut into the gut sack and everything, so. But I'll be doing these with the S30V. I just cut out two bits of S30V and glued on the paper template. I haven't water cut any of these yet. We'll see how they do with sales. If the demand's there, I'll get, you know, as many as I need water cut along with the handles. I'm just going to do it the old long way. For now, it'll be a little less cost effective, but yeah, demand versus cost. So this is just a red micarta I got on this. It turned out pretty nice. I might do more in the red. Got some black and green micarta I think I'm going to do with the W pattern bolsters. And this is of course the 3/16 stainless on the liners. So we got that going on. This is what they look like. Printed out, all designed in AutoCAD Inventor. So this is, I just glued them on, printed out, cut it out, glued it onto S30V. I used, this is the 3M Super 77. Works great on almost anything. That's what I use on my disc grinder for attaching the abrasives. And then I'll take you over to see the fixture I got started. I'm going to cut out those blade blanks so I can figure out where I want my holes for the 1032 to hold it down through the pivot hole, and then where I want my clamps to be set. So this is what I cut out the last couple days, off and on. You can see this is angled in 3.5 degrees, which is what AutoCAD said the blade bevel should be. This is 2 inches, 780 thou wide. Gives me about, these are 935 thou, so that gives me, I don't know, roughly like 800 thou for my toe clamps. So in this face I'll be drilling for the pivot 1032 bolts, and then these will get 5/16 either 5/16 or quarter inch. I haven't decided. Probably quarter inch for the toe clamps because they'll be fairly small toe clamps. And I'll be able to put 4 blades on this fixture. So it'll be useful when I make this CNC, so I'll be able to put 4 on this one. Okay, so this is my blade fixture. I'm gonna first take a skim cut, well, touch off, and then to get 0, take a skim cut of about 10 thou, probably 30 thou, and that should be roughly half of what I need to go down, and that will show me where I'm at, see if my angles are right. Run this at it's a 3/4 inch indexable carbide running at 850 RPM. Seems to be what the cutter's happy at. Come on. Come in here. Just gotta touch off. Okay, I'm gonna call that 0. I'm gonna come in 30 thou. Feed it in. I'm doing this dry for now so you guys can see it. Just gonna come in and see where I'm at roughly. Looks like 370. So that'll give me 740 thou. That'd be about perfect. Come in. Gonna eyeball where I want my shoulder at. Go 30. got them flipped over because I still have my 0 set. I know where my shoulders are at. So that should be perfect. And I'll come in and touch off like I did before. Okay, so this is been ground. You can see it's all the right angle. The other one turned out a little different. I don't think it was held in the jig quite right. But this one turned out great. Gotta play with the tools a little bit more. I'm going to be getting another video out here probably in the next day, week or so. But all this footage should be more than enough for a video. Next video I'll get to doing the patterning on the billet I just forged. I may or may not film the next billet, the W's. I might film part of it. Play with the mill some more, and I want to show you how I go about setting up the liners for the folders and getting all the holes to line up perfectly with almost no precision measurement at all, and they line up perfect every time. And it's kind of the dumb trick that I learned how to do with the fixed blades that transferred over to the folders perfectly. I'll show you the fixture plate I use for the Wharncliffe folders, and I'm probably going to use the same fixture plate for the folder number 2, the drop points, the liner lock number 2. Because the same pivot hole, they should drop right into the same fixture, and I'll have to just and all the holes won't matter as far as because it'll have its own jig plate on the top. So do that for the next video. This video turned out pretty good. Let me know what you like. Check out my website, lastfrontierknives.com. Subscribe, and I'll have more videos out. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks.